10 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
wait, I gotta do a Facebook post. Hold on.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Storm Spirit.
Storm Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Yeah, I had to walk my dog
5
actually
seconds
before I actually
remaining.
got things started, and I was trying to help tweak the sound settings a little bit, so
Reserve time.
that's why I started a little bit later than after that post there. But we're live now. Okay, here we go. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this Pro Dota Cup series sponsored by Azumi.tv. Action coming at you, a losers bracket final matchup. This is actually game number 2 of this best of 3 series. I am Breaky
Dire
CPK,
team back.
gonna be your casting host here today, of course, and looking forward to having a fun time. Now, as I mentioned, this is game number 2. Unfortunately, I happen to miss game number 1
Radiant
right
team
there.
back.
Just getting things started with the stream, and just so happened that game number 2 was kicking off right here. So here we are in game number 2. Let me get this set up going here. There we go. That's right. This isn't a necessarily official cast here. It's just simply me doing some practice casting,
10
and
seconds
you know, for the
remaining.
sake of I guess on Twitch's side at least, no English streams of this
5
matchup
seconds
here.
remaining.
So I'm trying to be the savior here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really just you know, I feel like
Reserve
doing some casting once again here today. So and this tournament has actually been a lot of fun to do some coverage here. So. Anyways, we got ATNatx taking on Empire, of course, here in this best of 3. Now, right now, Empire is actually up 1-0. I was actually looking at the first game here, and kind of pulling on screen for you guys, actually. Kind of get some Dota buff action. This is what happened in the first game. It looks like, you know, as far as score-wise, wasn't the craziest kill count game. 27-23, about a 54-minute game, but in the end, Empire, or excuse me, ATNatx was victorious. I apologize there. Wait, no, Empire was victorious. What am I saying? They had the more
Radiant
kills, but
team
it
picked.
says right up here. Okay, Empire victorious here in this game number 1. It looks like they have some Tree Protector, actually. Interesting stuff there. The Razor, the Morphling, champion on that Morphling, able to do enough work. The Luna power for ATNatx was not able
10
to
seconds
do the
remaining.
work. So here we are in game number 2, though. Again, the lineup's just about finished right
5
here, so
seconds
taking a closer
remaining.
look, seeing what we do have. As far as the Radiant side, that being Empire, in fact, finishing it off right there. We got
Dire
Ogre Magi, Legion Commander, Slark, Disruptor, and Night Stalker. I gotta say, one thing that I have noticed about Empire specifically, I've gotten the chance to cast them a little bit lately, including yesterday, of course. They love these just all-out aggressive lineups. They actually
10
took
seconds
Imperial
remaining.
to a 3-game series yesterday, ultimately falling short, thus Imperial, of course, in
5
the grand
seconds
finals,
remaining.
awaiting the winner of this series that will take place actually tomorrow. And again, if things work
Reserve
out, I
time.
may hop on and look to cast that series as well. But right now, Empire again up 1-0 in this series. But this is such an aggressive lineup. I mean, especially with that Night Stalker final pick right there. I assume that's actually going to be an off lane. Is that going to be a mid Night Stalker even? I mean, that's going to be probably the 2 or the 3, right? So I don't know how popular a mid Night Stalker is. So maybe leaning towards more of the 3 Night Stalker, but Legion Commander, of course, also has that potential to perhaps be in the off lane. So it's going to be interesting to see how the laning phase ultimately works out here for Empire. But maybe that's part of the strength of their draft, really keeping ATNatx guessing here as far as who is going to end up where. As far as ATNatx is concerned, they're really thinking about this final pick right here, down to 40 seconds of extra time already. Still a bit of time, though, left. Obviously, this is their final decision to make. Batrider, Slardar, Dazzle, and Storm Spirit is what we're looking at so far. So speaking of a couple of off-lane potential heroes, Slardar and the Batrider, it's going to be interesting to see how they shape up. Of course, Storm Spirit you would expect to be in the middle, so possibly going to be more of the either it could be a 1 Slardar. I mean, we have seen that in certain team setups. I know Alliance actually comes to mind as a team that maybe has done that a little bit, but 4 Slardar is probably where I'd have to lean towards. You know, it's good synergy overall with the. Now, this is an
10
interesting
seconds
lineup, though, with that said. They got the Slardar Dazzle, great negative armor synergy. Now, Storm Spirit and
5
Batrider aren't
seconds
necessarily
remaining.
heroes that take advantage of that. I was going to say, it feels like they really need that physical presence hero to take advantage of this Slardar amp damage, of the Dazzle Weave negative armor. and they decide to go the Huskar route. I can't say I was expecting that, but at the same time, he also has great synergy with Dazzle, of course, with that Shallow Grave, and so not too surprised to see that pick in the end. So they are going to go with the Huskar final pick. Very interesting finish. This tournament, the ProDota Cup Series, sponsored by Zubu TV, has actually been a lot of fun to cast here in bits and pieces. Because I gotta say, it's I don't know if it's just this tournament in general or the CIS region maybe, but they're not afraid to pick some fun strategies here. Some fun lineups, some fun heroes, some different heroes at that. So here we are in what is now game number 2 again of the series. You do see up here it is actually updated. Again, a 1-0 lead currently in favor of Empire. So, gonna pause the game to kick things off right here. As is my config set up. There we go. Now it should be good as far as that's concerned. All right, so again, the winner of this series will move on and play Imperial, who is awaiting in the grand finals to take place, scheduled to happen tomorrow, actually. Speaking of Imperial, actually, apparently they're playing Rebels right now in a finals matchup over in another tournament, I guess the D2CL, Dota 2 Championship League, if I'm not mistaken, in their own best of 5 over there. So a couple of these, you know, Tier 2 tournaments, I almost want to say, if you want to call them that. Looking forward to seeing, again, how this one shapes up here. Yeah, I do apologize if there is a little bit of static coming through. Again, I am using a new setup here today as far as I got a dual stream setup going. I was kind of tweaking around with the sound settings, trying to make it work. It was a lot worse when I was testing earlier on. I was able to calm it down a bit, but I do know that there might be a little bit of background noise coming through. I unfortunately, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do that about right now. I know it's there. I've tried my best to fix it. For now, going to stick to what we have, and hopefully it is at least bearable here. But I'll get that looked at for future broadcasts, of course. At the very least, I could just go back to my simple setup, of course. But I want to kind of test this out for the time being, more on the video side as well. Anyways, we do see ATN here at the bottom lane. They're going to send that smoke gank attempt over here. Move their way through the Radiant jungle as all 4 grouped up. Working towards that bottom rune area. Jappy in the Roshan pit. Oh, he might run right into them. In fact, they're on the up. He's going to run right into them indeed. The crush comes out, and Jappy is going to get first blood. And what a position there from ATN. The choice to go the route they did, clearly catching Empire off guard. I mean, this Observer Ward being here, you figured, like, oh, if anyone's going to come this way, we would see them. Not with that smoke. So well played by ATN. I don't know if that was research being done or not, but again, very, very well played by ATN to set up that first blood gank. So off to a great start, of course, especially taking out the slaughter right there. Who got credit? Oh, that was Huskar with the actual kill for ATN right here. So that's probably the best combination. They take out the opposition core in the number 1 position, and they get
but at what cost?
On their own 1 position. So again, very well played by ATN. Now these lanes are looking a little bit interesting, actually. We do have Batrider choosing to go in the short lane up top here. What's going up against a trial lane? So clearly ATN deciding to avoid the aggressive trial lane of Empire, and it seems like that decision could work out beautifully for them. Legion Commander at the same time down here for Empire, obviously, as he's matched up against the Huskar and the Dazzle. So middle lane, sure enough, Miposhka on that Night Stalker. He is going to be a middle Night Stalker here, going up against a middle Storm Spirit. I was going to say Slaughter for a second, I had to think about that. I was like, wait a second, I thought he was going to be the 4. That's right, he is just simply playing Harasser here in that middle lane. So Night Stalker, to say the least. This is not going to be the most friendly of lanes for him, but here comes Ogre Magi in the flank position. Ignite, no, he's not even going to use it. Not worth wasting the mana right there. We'll simply stay back and hold off on the ability for now. Now he's going to take some good pressure himself. Storm Spirit going further. Exotic Deer, though, he's getting a little, as is Lisa. They both need to be careful, but one more auto attack. Oh, man. Ogre Magi almost going down right there. Velhor, but he is going to manage to stay alive and survive. And going to go commit suicide right there at the neutral camp. So Slark, meanwhile, top lane. I think it's a good pressure right there for the Batrider, but going to pop that salvo, will be fine. He's 9-5 so far against Batrider that's 5-2. Again, a somewhat of a tri-lane makeup here for Empire. Now Ogre Magi rotating. So more of an aggressive dual lane here instead, but still potential for Slark to, of course, have some good farm. But same story for Huskar here at the bottom lane. He right now is 13-3, makes that 14-3 now when it comes to his last hit. So, yeah, Huskar going to really be able to take advantage of that physical damage presence right here that Dazzle and Slaughter especially bring to the table again with their abilities. How's Legion Commander doing down here? He's 7-0 currently, so not doing too shabby here, getting levels at the very least. He's level 3 currently. Middle lane, Night Stalker 16-5 now against the Storm Spirit, who's 13-2. So actually, Night Stalker managing to do a very good job here in this middle lane, using that Void for some last hitting abilities. And making sure to keep that creep farm up. So Miposhka definitely playing this well so far. As once again, Slaughter comes back in, but Slaughter being this melee support, not as threatening as that range would be, of course. Top lane, Bat Rider, no, just having some fun with the camp right there. You see King R and Chappie doing what they can. Now they're going to glimpse him back, actually. Out comes the harassment there with the Thunder Strike, but Nisha is going to be fine. He does a good job of flying over the ledge, positioning himself appropriately, and he will manage to survive. So Nisha seems very confident on that Bat Rider there at the top lane. Doing a good job. Bounty Rune going to be controlled by Storm Spirit right there. Take a look at the net worth now. Again, Huskar actually leading the way currently, but so far, other than that first blood, which again happened in a very good flank by ATN, haven't seen too much action. As I say this though, Faye could be in some trouble right here. He's being caught on Dazzle will come to the last second. The Shallow Grave is applied. Oh, Night Stalker wants to chase though, commit for this kill. Is it going to be enough? It is going to be enough, but at what cost right here? Miposhka will fall out 1-for-1 exchange. Gostic, he should be fine. I don't think Dazzle has enough pressure. Yeah, no poison touch either yet, so Legion Commander able to walk it off, but at least they killed Huskar first. I think if you're Empire, you're overall pretty satisfied with that exchange. But at least ATN able to get the turn kill. And that was the good news for them. So we'll remain at 2-1 lead here in favor of ATN. Obviously Huskar with that death. Oh, where the hell did he go? There he is. Bat Rider, he's in trouble again. The Thunder Strike, not going to be enough actually. And now they're going for the turn kill on Disruptor. Elisa comes in on Slaughter. Crush of Blood, a couple of auto attacks later, and Disruptor goes down. Chappie, meanwhile, going to use this Dark Pact right there. Having to run, he will survive. But great job porting in from Slaughter, giving Batrider the necessary support. And getting a nice turn kill at the top lane. So ATN starting strong here in game number 2, which again, they're down 1-0, so trying to force that third and final game. Bat Rider working with some stacked camp right here. Ogre Magi, though, coming into the jungle with Night Stalker actually charging, and of course, being nighttime, he's got that movement speed increase. Nisha in trouble. They're going to cut him off, and the Void will easily take care of business. So
you'll be naught but bones.
Good rotation there from Empire. Obviously, Nisha got a little bit too greedy. Got to be very careful in the nighttime, especially. Not that that's very unobvious thing to say by me, but in that case, Nisha was not really paying attention enough for it, and he goes down. Chappie, meanwhile, pounces on a Cat Courier onto the Dazzle, applies a Shallow Grave. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. It's not going to last too long. The heal bomb comes out. Here comes Batrider, though, going to set up some turn kills. Down goes Dazzle. Legion Commander going to get him to keep his distance, though. The buff on a Chappie to help him get out of there. And Storm Spirit, meanwhile, goes down in the middle lane. They also end up taking out Slark right there. But Huskar goes down, kills all over the place between the middle and the bottom lane, as Faye finishes with a double kill before he ends up falling, though. So I guess the big picture at 2 for 3. I mean, Storm Spirit died throughout that too. Nice Stalker really diving deep right here. Void comes out, there's a Crippling Fear. But Miposhka, he's going to fall back before that support comes in. And survive himself. But Night Stalker, again, as you would expect, being very active at the first Nightfall right here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Husker, armlet pattern in the works here. Gonna try to finish that ASAP. Meanwhile, Nightstalker finishes his face boots. And Slark, he is, well, does he have anything else, or is this all he's got so far? I guess, yeah, his farm isn't the greatest, only 2,200 gold net worth, so. There is the armlet purchase coming out from Husker. Meanwhile, Observer Ward placed here at the bottom lane from Slaughter. They want to try to kill this Slark down here. Nisha coming in and apply some charges of the sticky napalm. You see Radiant's going to scan off to the side, but they miss Slaughter right there. However, Disruptor is coming in, so this could get interesting now. There we go. Going to go on a Chappie. In comes a Crush, but the Shadow Dance activated. He will be fine. Thunderstrike from Disruptor coming in. Kingar, though, his positioning going to glimpse back Batrider as he runs, but look at that damage from the Crush. The amp damage is up, and down goes Disruptor. So ATN at least gets something out of this, although Chappie's able to fall back, and that passive regen kicks in. We'll be fine. Heavy pinks here at the top lane. Huskar. I'm going to try to make a play on him, perhaps. I mean, Dazzle, does he have a TP? He absolutely does, so he's going to be ready to TP in if they try to make that play. And again, it's so risky, obviously, and you can tell that Empr are not the most comfortable in going for it, so they will fall back for the time being. How's Storm Spirit doing? Trying to finish that Soul Ring of his. Pings on him, telling him to get back, I'm pretty sure, as Ogre Magi is rotating in. Batrider goes down, meanwhile, here at the bottom lane. Looks like Slark credit for the kill, but Legion Commander Disruptor doing enough assistance to make that happen, however. So this Nightstalker, though, very intrigued to see how he builds. I know the idea of an Axe Scepter, very powerful. There we go. Activates the darkness. Going through the jungle, but don't think he's going to find anybody. Obviously, Storm Spirit was there, but I mean, of course, that's a cue for the Dire side right here that as soon as that's activated, that he's probably looking to set up some kind of kill. Now, Batrider, unfortunately, he's going to run right into them. Oh, no. Batrider going on the uphill. He had no clue. He's going to be silenced. Is it actually enough damage, though? Legion Commander should be able to assist with that. No, the Shallow Grave comes out. The duel is activated, but Legion Commander, he's going to get the kill. No, he's not. He dies first, and Nisha will survive. Beautiful turn here coming out from ATNatx, and they're going to get more. Miposhka now being chased back as Storm Spirit continues to keep him slowed. It is nighttime, though. You see that movement speed from Nightstalker right here, over 400. And they're still on the game with the phase boots. Oh, he's going to go pour it out. No longer nighttime. Can he get out of time? Yes, he can. So Nightstalker at least makes the escape. But a 2-for-0 in favor of ATN right there. Beautiful turnaround. Again, that's definitely a power of Dazzle, though. The saving grace comes in with that Shallow Grave. And they set up the turn. Nisha did a fantastic job of surviving, too, up until that point. I mean, I thought for sure he was going to fall right there. Especially with Legion Commander coming in and activating that overwhelming odds, but no, it was not. And he not only survived, but obviously helped set up that turn kill right there. So very well played. Chappie, meanwhile, looks like he is going for the Hand of Midas. Now, there was a Slark player that did this yesterday. Was it Chappie? I forget which of the series it was that we casted that the Slark player did it. It could have very likely been Chappie. So choosing to go the Hand of Midas, which, you know, from my understanding, maybe a little bit more of the old school build. Obviously, the Echo Saber and a Shadow Blade, or vice versa, kind of seems like the more usual build nowadays. But as meanwhile, middle lane Storm Spirit, of course, gets taken out. So good job right there. Not even needing to be nighttime.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But there's the Hand of Midas finish now on Slark. Again, especially if it was him, whoever got it yesterday, it did not work out too well at all. So, in that game specifically, not that it's not going to work out here, but we'll keep an eye on Chappie and see how it works for him, of course. Sawdar, 600 gold saved up. I would think the Blink Dagger is going to be next in line for him, so keep an eye on that Q right there. Drums just finished on Batrider, meanwhile. As Nisha just charges right at Slark here at the bottom lane. Slark could be in some trouble. He does have that Dark Pack. He's going to be lassoed, though. He does get it off in time, but
Radiant's
well played by
top tower
Chappie.
is under attack.
And he will actually survive in the end. Middle lane, wow, they're diving deep meanwhile. And this could be some turn for ATN as a result. CL Lisa going in, has a crush ready, trying to make a play on a Belhor here. This Disruptor's picked up over to the side, and now this crush. Yep, there we go. He gets it off. Here comes the support. Poison Touch, it doesn't even have it yet still, but again, it doesn't matter here. The heal bomb will be enough, and Dazzle secures the kill. Look at Night Stalker. He's still sticking around as if he wants to make a play here. He does have an Arcane Rune bottled up. There we go. He's going to activate a Void, going to be used on top of the Crippling Fear. Is that long enough? Yes, it is. Well played by Miposhka. Look at that patience there. Sitting nearby, figuring that he was going to be able to make a play, and sure enough, he does. Very well played. Able to get that kill. Here we go into the Roshan pit. Faye activating that Inner Vitality. Oh, is this going to be enough, though? Dazzle's in trouble. The duel onto him. He goes down, and without Dazzle, you're feeling a lot of scary right here. Faye, he's holding his ground, trying to kill Chappie. Not enough, though. Good job on the Shadow Dance in the last second. The glimpse back on his Sauter, and Sauter in trouble. He will go down as the Void comes out from Miposhka. A triple kill for the Night Stalker, and now Nisha has to fight. It looks like he wants to fight even. Buyback's happening. That one on his Slaughter. Storm Spirit ports in, and so does the Slaughter. It seems like Empire now wants to fall back. Of course, they used a bit right there to make those kills take place. So the Roshan attempt, definitely not worthwhile for ATN. And now Miposhka, he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. There's a couple of different fights going on. Sauter, though, he's in trouble. Running into 4 heroes. One more auto attack, going to get glimpsed back. No mana on Disruptor, even if the cooldown was ready. Night Stalker did also make his way out of there. And I think we're finally going to be done here at this fighting at the bottom lane. So a lot of back and forth, but ATN, you know, using the buyback even, not able to get any kills out of it. So very well fought by Empire. But look at this immediate smoke. Okay, Ogre Magi, I mean, that's a good start, but yeah, they would definitely want more. Trying to chase after Gostic, but they can't even catch him. Now they're going to find Ogre Magi, who for some reason went right into them. Felt like he didn't even necessarily need to do that. And at least they get the 1 pick. There's a defensive weave applied, so I don't know if this is the smartest time to fight for Empire. A lot of armor coming out. Kinetic Field going to box them out. This fight's just continuing to happen. I think we're finally going to come to a conclusion, but ATN, I guess the one positive out of this is that they're going to once again go for Roshan and likely be able to do it. Now, Exotic Deer, he doesn't have much mana. He does have a Soul Ring used ready to go. If necessary, going to box out Legion Commander there. And yeah, they should be able to now take out Roshan. There we go with the Aegis to Huskar, as now Chappie will fall back before he gets caught. So, oh, how about that? ATN actually manages to successfully kill Roshan after all of that, despite the disaster that was initially. And they get the Aegis on Huskar. Of course, a very dangerous hero to have it on. He's already got the Helmet of Dominator now to go with the Armlet. So nice progress being made by ATN, no doubt. But at the other side of it, Empire obviously still has a lot of positive to feel for themselves. Sauter, he's had to have bought something. He's sitting still with that hand of Midas. You see the net worth, especially with that tower kill right there, jumping up upwards back over to about 2,000 or so. Experience at about that 2,000 range as well. Blink Dagger, couple of them purchased by Legion Commander. No, he just sold and then rebought, of course. So he has his Blink Dagger now, so again, good progress being made. The Axe Scepter being worked on by Night Stalker. He's actually almost there, wow. And I mean, again, when you get that Axe Scepter on Night Stalker, it really starts to take control of the game. So, I'm still feeling positive if I'm an Empire fan, no doubt. Dark Pact by Chappie. He needs to get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, stun on a Batrider. He's trying to get a Lasso's target. Can't do so. The Night Stalker being locked down, however. It is not night currently. And that's when he's obviously very vulnerable. So he will get taken out. Ogre Magi also going to fall. And a 2-for-0 exchange in favor of ATN right there. So, good job getting a couple of picks. However, the tower was killed, obviously. In favor, they got the tower kill, right? Yeah, I believe they did. So not being denied right there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So even with those couple of deaths, still Empire overall pretty happy. Again, the Axe Scepter was slowed down a little bit on Night Stalker, but very little farm as he resurrects right here. That's all that will be needed to eventually get that. Meanwhile, top lane, somebody got glimpsed back. Not even sure who that was right there, but they're trying to kill Chappie, and it will be enough still. Well played by Storm Spirit. But look at the Static Storm coming out from Disruptor right there, locking him down with that in the kinetic field, and he at least gets the turn kill on his Storm Spirit. Yeah, again, not 100% sure who that was that ported in, but it might have been Slaughter, actually. But he sends it back, and still not enough to save his
Dire's
teammate.
top tower is under attack.
So now bottom lane,
Radiant's bottom tower is
this
under
tower is
attack.
going to be
Radiant
taking some good
structures are
damage.
fortified.
dropping about half-life currently.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got
Radiant's
Night
bottom
Stalker in
tower
here.
is under
Now it's
attack.
going crazy, man. A lot of towers being attacked here.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Jesus. Top tower goes down for Legion Commander. You see Ogre Magi trying to help defend, but will be killed by Husker. Now it's a Dragon Lance to go as well. He's really building this very heavy mid-game kind of build here, and a lot of these mid-game core items. So he's pretty much there. The trinity of items: the Dragon Lance, the Armlet, as well as the Helm of the Dominator. You throw the Aegis on top of that. Now you got Bat Rider with the Blink Dagger. So obviously a lot of positive here for ATN. The one thing they are missing definitely is Slaughter with his Blink Dagger. So could really use that. And you see Storm Spray, he's not the scariest. I mean, only 5,400 gold net worth. He's actually 6th overall in the game right now. So Storm Spirit has not been able to have the biggest impact here, as Night Stalker does pick up his Axe Scepter. So obviously, again, a very, very powerful improvement with that night vision. Oh, he's going to pour it out. Jeez. That was close. Almost got caught right there. And there's a gem now purchased on Night Stalker. So the vision game is definitely going to go in favor of Empire now, at least you'd figure. You see the vision currently.
Dire's
That's for
top tower is under
Empire's
attack.
vision. And then here we go from Ultimate Attacks. You see someone, they got a little bit aggressive, but we'll see how long that lasts. Bottom lane, they're trying to chase a little bit. They are losing a secondary tower in the meantime.
Dire's structures are fortified.
As you see, the Echo Saber has been finished
gift
on
from the Tempest
Chappie
of
here,
Battle.
meanwhile.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Port's coming in, though. Storm Spirit leading the way. They catch Slark initially, but duel on a Storm Spirit. This is been a log. Will it work out in the end? No, it will not. Shallow Grave is applied. Storm Spirit going to survive for the time being. Is it enough in the long run? No, it is not. He goes down. Kakor
Radiant's
doing all
bottom
that he
tower
could right
is under
there
attack.
to keep him alive. I believe somebody got glimpsed back again. I'm pretty sure somebody else was ported in right there. So Disruptor doing a great job of keeping the support from coming in and assisting. Meanwhile, though, you see Ogre Magi was picked up, but definitely favorite for Empire there.
Illusion.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See Husker 2,100 gold saved up, meanwhile. So we'll see what that next item is in line. But he is the highest net worth in the game, 9,100 gold net worth. Slaughter there, of course, as you'd expect, especially now with the Hanamitis and the Echo Saber.
Invisibility.
Working up on the net
Dire's
worth
top
chart.
tower is under
Ideally
attack.
will take over the top. We got a Smoke Ink, meanwhile, here in the middle lane. Slaughter, of course, does have that Blink Dagger now, but as we see, no one's here for the Radiant side, so not going to be able to get an easy kill or an easy target. Dazzle, Buckler picked up. On way to the mech, the eventual Guardian Greaves, I'm sure. Force Staff just about finished for Bat Rider. They think they have something here. Oh, the Blink Dagger reactions, though. Good job by Legion Commander. Ogre Magi, though, unfortunately, he does not have a Blink Dagger. He's got that Windlace of the boots. He's got a decent amount of speed. The Bloodlust applied, but Storm Spirit's like, you ain't going nowhere. He jumps in, and they get the easy kill right there onto Ogre Magi. So just a matter of time before they chase him down. Top lane. You got Fade porting in. He's going to go for Chappie right here, but at what cost? He's in trouble now. Static Storm comes out. A lot of TPs. There's the Shallow Grave. Going to hold his ground. As Static Storm, though, causing issues. Going to try to heal up a little bit. Isn't enough? It looks like it is for the time being. Will it be enough in the long run? No, it will not. Down he goes. But Chappie losing teammates around him. Night Stalker was picked off. You see Disruptor. He's trying to live through this. That beautiful crush on top, and down goes Disruptor. Chappie now on that Sark. He needs to get out of here. No, he gets caught on Bat Rider, actually. Exotic here, though, however, will clean him up. He gets low himself. A lot of pings, though. That Geometry side being pinged out right there. But Gostic, couldn't drop anything right there, and it is going to be picked up instead by Storm Spirit. who will fall back. It looks like Ostic really wants to make a play. Has that blink taker. He is going to go in. Slaughter as here. Oh, he hits both. A lot of damage coming out, but now Legion Commander is going to be kited. Storm Spirit helps get the kill. Elisa with credit for the kill. Well played right there. Legion Commander getting a little too cocky, and he ends up falling. Overall, well, I think it was more of like a 4-for-2 exchange right there. Crazy fight yet again. Got to be the theme here of game number 2. So ATN, I think it's safe to say, winning that fight in the end. And now you got the full Bloodstone picked up by Storm Spirit. 3,000 gold now saved up on Husker, meanwhile. Look at Slark, he actually gets the Blink Dagger here. So again, I really want to say that this is the same one that we saw yesterday.
Is under attack. Dire's middle
The same
has fallen.
Chappie playing Slark that is yesterday that went this very similar, I think the same build actually. I believe he did the Hanamine into Echo Saber, and then he got the Blink Dagger as well. So yeah, really likes that mobility to go with the heavy farm. They're gonna group up. Look for a kill target here, but the closest one is that Storm Spirit, who's not even really that close, frankly.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Unless they rotate more over here. Oh, Storm Spirit could be in some trouble.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They're pinging him. They know he's in the area.
Touche.
Did he just get glimpsed? Yes, he did. He got glimpsed back. That range, man, is ridiculous. Into the Static Storm. And they get the kill. We're continuing to fight, though. Defensive weave comes out. There's the last one of Night Stalker. Can they pick him off quickly? They absolutely can. Storm Spirit staying down with that Bloodstone. Means it's going to be out pretty quickly. Only about 5 more seconds. And I think the Radiant side knows this. Chappie, in fact, he's dealing with the Slardar. He gets buffed up in the Shadow Dance pop to get away right there. So, yeah, they will fall back. So that smoke ultimately, I guess, doesn't bite them in the ass, but ends up being a 1-for-1 exchange in the ass. Not the prettiest use of smoke right there.
A soldier's fortune.
Let the fun begin.
Legion Commander, Blade Mail picked up. Go with that Blink Dagger, of course. Now, looks like Dazzle actually just about finished now with that mech. Again, the eventual Guardian creeps here. You see Disruptor also getting a hand of Midas. Trying to help with his farm. Has Husker bought anything yet? Yes, he has. He just got a Satanic. Wow. Yeah. Husker is going to be really scary here at this point. So this is going to be, especially with that Satanic, this is going to be that point of very scary in favor of ATN. By the way, the crush right there from Elisa, he misclicked right there. I believe he either thought that he was very next to him right there, or he didn't blink in close enough. But anyways, whatever the point, they are still at least going to get Ogre Magi killed, despite missing out the attempt onto Disruptor right there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Here I am.
So the Night Stalker, it does feel like has tapered off a little bit. Yeah, it was really impactful earlier on in this game,
Dire's
but
middle tower
overall
is under
6-4 and
attack.
4. Let's see now, the 3,100 gold saved up on Chappie right here.
Radiant's
Double
top
damage
tower
room, bottom
is under
room.
attack.
So he was able to get it first. Oh, looks like Batrider's running to it. Gonna ping it, and they're gonna protect Roshan, who obviously we know is up. Faye's gonna come over and pick up that double damage. Grimby ball. Disruptor gets caught between Batrider and Slaughter, and he's gonna be picked off. And they want more damage. Maposhka. Oh, the one auto attack, was hoping for that bash proc, but he does not get it. What percentage is that? It's 25% at level 4. So, hoping for that 25%. Unable to get it though. Night Stalker survives. But now we see Roshan. It's gonna be another Aegis here. There's no way anyone's gonna stop this. Again, you look at what Husker has. Satanic to go with that Dragon Lance and Armlet. do throw the Aegis on top of this now, so they now have, oh, they're going to give it to Storm Spirit. Okay, I mean, that makes sense, too. Storm Spirit, obviously, a very, very valid Aegis target here. Arguably one of the best in the game, so it's almost assumed they were going to give it to Husker again, though. But I guess with the Satanic pickup, a lot more confident that he's going to be fine here. BKB being worked on by Slark. Against this Dire side, definitely could be a pretty powerful tool to have. Again, it's not the end-all tool. There's still a lot of physical presence coming out here. That the Dazzle and the Solder, negative armor, and then again Husker. That's the combo that we're talking about. But there's a good amount of CC that it will help against. Lane, who did they catch? They caught Husker here, actually. He does pop the Satanic, though, but that Blade Mail's doing a lot of work. Here comes the supporting staff. Nightstalker actually cutting them off, though. Storm Spirit flies in. Down goes Husker, but they get the turn kill on a Legion Commander. Storm Spirit ball lightnings out immediately, though, with the losing Husker right there. He does have a buyback, by the way, but Elisa, he's trying to run. The Shallow Grave is applied. Dazzle, he's, of course, going to be caught by himself. The glimpse back on his Slaughter, by the way. They get the kill into him. That's the last thing you wanted if you're ATN. They were completely split up from their Husker. Why he was pushed up so far by himself is beyond me. I mean, with that Aegis pickup, you figured that was the time to start grouping up for ATM and just going full snowball. Take out these outer towers, start even trying to attempt to break the base, but for some reason they insisted on being split up still. I'm guessing they're still working on a couple of items, maybe for the Storm Spirit. Probably wants that the Orchid here, but is that really something that you absolutely need? I don't know. I mean, it seemed like they were really in a good spot. So these are kind of resetting right here as Empire. They get a secondary tower themselves on top of all that. And you look at the net worth here. ATN, again, they've had a comfortable lead, but it's going back to almost even just about after what just really happened right there. Experience is basically even at this point. So there's now a Yule Scepter picked up by Disruptor. So now you got these supports here on the Radiant side, getting some powerful assisting items. 2,400 gold saved up on Legion Commander, 3,000 on Night Stalker. He has that Ogre Club. Assumed that was going to be a BKB himself, but not finishing it just yet. Of course, buyback important too. Speaking of that, obviously, Slark has his own. But yeah, I mean, they still have the Aegis. But I guess they really want that Orchid before they actually start making some plays right here. You see the plate mail picked up by Husker, so they're likely going to be going that AC. There is the BKB purchased by Night Stalker. Now Empire, they're kind of almost acting like they're going to be pushing right here, and that it feels like it's a little dangerous. And whenever you're going up against an Aegis, especially in a hero like Storm Spirit, it almost seems like a very risky play to try to push into the base. So yeah, they're not going to go all the way. Makes sense there. Just going to get some vision down. Again, taking advantage of that Ag Scepter Night Stalker with that gem that he has, and you do see the vision right now for the Dire side. It's Dire. Haha, see what it did there. Anyway, smoke coming out from ATN and right towards the middle. So yeah, here's a chance for them to try to catch somebody. Again, it might be Ogre Magi, which is not the prime target. Bat Rider a little bit further ahead, but man, look at Empire. They're doing a great job of spreading out and not giving them the chance. They feel like that smoke's happening, and they're playing very defensive, so instead Fate will just open here in the middle and start pushing out the middle lane now. Another BKB purchase, this one on a Legion Commander, so really prioritizing the BKBs here on Empire side. All their cores have it now. Storm Spirit, the Orchid picked up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Here comes that push from ATN. Again, a very good timing. Dazzle, offensive weave. They catch Ogre Magi. Again, not the prime target, but they'll take it. Dead for another 40 seconds. He does not have a buyback, actually. So, meanwhile, counter push at the top lane coming out from Empire, but I got to think the ATN is going to have the better push here, as, yeah, they're already working into the base now. So, are they going to choose to try to trade? I guess if you're ATN, if you're Empire, that is, that's for the better for you. You know, you're probably not going to hold right here, so might as well trade some towers, and it looks like ATN's actually going to fall back because of that. So that's going to be well played now. Will they get picked off? It's a question. He's exotic here, gets the pullback on a Night Stalker, pops the BKB, but the lasso goes through, of course. Lisa on the background on that Stunner. He's trying to deal with a supporting cast as Night Stalker does manage to actually get out. And they will pick off Disruptor, actually. So beautiful getaway from Night Stalker, actually. And to only lose Disruptor out of all of that, really not too shabby, because now the Aegis, it's going to be down. And yeah, I think Empr definitely can be very satisfied with what just happened right there. Where the hell is Sorcerer going?
Oh, what I miss?
He was really deep right there. He's a very dangerous spot to be in. If he gets anything on him like a duel or anything like that, he's probably dead. So he manages to escape, though. And now we have ATN kind of resetting here. Working their way uphill now. So this time they're doing this without an Aegis.
Radiant structures are fortified.
ADC yet again, Chappie at the top lane, being that nifty little Slark. And he's going to counter push at the top. So once again, ATN going to be forced to make a decision right here. Looks like they're going to choose to still push themselves, but somebody pointed in. Batrider goes in. The blink dagger from Chappie, though. Can he actually escape? He's being cut up by Stunner. Oh, he passes right into a crush. He pops the BKB at least, but there's a lasso locking him down. The BKB is still going to lasso, I believe. Pulls him on the uphill, though. He has another pounce coming out. Yep, going to activate it right there. Dark Pact already used. He's stunned right there with a crush, but the Shadow Dance keeping it alive for the time being. Will it be enough in the long run? Another Dark Pact. He's trying to simply survive. Another pounce going to be used, but there's the crush, and there's the kill. On to Chappie there. He does have a buyback as Gostic nearly got killed on that Legion Commander. Looks like they also picked off Disruptor, though, in the meantime. So make it a 2-0, and now ATN is going to actually push. So good job by ATN kind of making the split happen as they don't send everyone back, and now they're going to regroup here. Batrider's not here, but confident enough that Husker is going to be able to stand strong and try to take out the melee racks, force a buyback if anything, is what they're really going for. There we go. There's the buyback. They're not going to fall back, though. They don't even really react to it. They get them in their racks, and now they're running away. There goes the duel on the Storm Spirit. They're getting them. Absolutely. Down goes Legion Commander immediately as soon as the duel was activated. Ogre Magi also gets picked off, and now the range racks is also going to fall. It almost felt like Empr as a team was not 100% ready to go in together. They were really split up on their decision-making right there. And instead they lose 2 heroes, and now it's a 5 versus 3 push. No buybacks in either Ogre or the LC here. It's going to be an easy tower kill.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Well, they get the racks now. You see they're going very deep. They get the kill on a Night Stalker. He buys back immediately. Big Static Storm in the background, but not really. He goes down, and everyone escapes from the kinetic field other than Dazzle, but he's going to survive. But they get a second set of racks, and I was going to say I think the GG has to be coming soon here. ATN's just pulling way too far ahead now, so ATN will be victorious when it's all said and done, and they'll force a 3rd and final game here in this best-of-3 series. So congrats to ATNatx. Taking game number 2, the Huskar got a little too farmed, and again, overall, it's decision-making a couple of times there. Maybe not the prettiest. Empr did a good job of capitalizing themselves, but and I feel like, you know, Slark never really got so scary. That's the thing with this build. It seems almost like a very, I don't know, the mobility is nice, but, you know, the usual what? We see the Echo Saber into the Shadow Blade, into the Basher even. You know, it just feels like that's more of that I'm going to kill you quickly build, where this is more of a, maybe a mobility kind of split push solo kind of build. So not blaming the Slark build 100% by any means, but it does feel like it's just not these couple of games I've watched of it now. It hasn't